guys, we're starting chapter 5, which are inequalities. Please go ahead and make sure you have the correct notes and a calculator. An inequality are your greater than or less than signs. So make sure you understand that this is your less than sign. This is less than or equal to. This is greater than. This is your greater than or equal to. All right, so when graphing, so this has to do with graphing. When you're graphing and you have your less than or greater than signs, you will use like an open dot, an open circle, or a dotted line because it does not include your value. So it does not include, do not include. If you have less than or equal, greater than or equal, then you have a solid dot when you're graphing and a solid line. So that's when you're including the value. Okay. Next, I think you'll like these because this is something you're kind of familiar with. You guys know how to solve equations, and basically that's all this is. So we're looking at words that mean these things. So this is your less than or fewer than. This would be greater than, and we can add to this as we go. More than. So those are pretty easy. These are the tricky ones because this could mean less or equal. But these are the words that you need to know. This is at most. Most you're thinking big, but it's the less than or equal to. Or no more than. If you do not have these two here, you are going to struggle. This is greater or equal. And this is going to be at least. So you think it would be, it's less than sign, but it's not. It's the opposite. Or no less than. So these are the ones that if you wanted to ride a ride and you're taking your younger sister or brother and you wanted to ride the little roller coaster with them, they might say your height must be less than or equal to 5 feet. So if you are not less than or equal to 5 feet, or at most 5 feet, or no more than 5 feet, so you can't be any higher, no higher than. You have to be less than. This one is like you wanted to go see a movie that's not rated, like rated R. So your age would have to be greater than or equal to, I don't know what it is anymore, 18, something, I don't know. So you could no less than 18 can get in. So you really have to almost talk yourself through these. Think of you getting on a ride or getting into a movie theater. Think about that every single time because these are the tricky words. All right, this part is super easy, the adding and the subtracting. Okay, so this is the adding or subtracting, plus or minus. Think of this as an equal sign. You solve it the same way. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides. C is greater than 6. So you could just bring that sign down. Okay, according to my notes, remember, if it doesn't have the equal, it's an open dot on 6. This is going to tell you which way to go. This arrow is going that way, so my arrow is going this way. That means 7 is greater, 8 is greater, or you can substitute these values in. Is 7 greater or is 5 greater? 7 is greater, so I'm going to, all the values going this way make it true. The next one, solving this one. Again, add 4, add 4. M is greater than or equal to, I'm missing my number line here, negative 8 plus 4 is a negative 4. My number line. And really, I just do this. Negative 4, as I'm increasing, it's negative 3. Decreasing is negative 5. I just put 3 numbers in. So I'm going to have a solid dot because it's going to include that value. What numbers are greater? This way. This way is always greater. So when you have a number line, this is greater and this is less. Next one. It's written backwards, but we don't care. We're solving for x. So to solve for x, we need to get rid of that 3. So 7 is greater than x, or x is less than 7. You need to know how to reverse this. You just don't change positions because that would not mean the same thing. X is less than 7 or 7 is greater than x. X is less than 7, 7 is greater than x. Make sure you know how to read them both ways. Open dot on my 7. What values are less? That arrow's pointing this way. And as long as your variable is first, you can follow the arrow. Only if. Next one, same sort of thing. I'm going to add 3. I'm solving for x, so I only work on this side of the equation. So that becomes a negative 1, and there's my x. I'm going to put an open dot here, a negative 1. Now I need to reverse this. I like my x first, so x, big side is going towards my x, if that helps, like that. What numbers are greater than negative 1? Going this way. And that's how you solve and graph. So to write an inequality, we need to know our words. Increased is a plus sign. No more, let's look up here, is less than or equal to. So a number, x, increased by 5 is no more than 25. And then you could solve that. Subtract 5, subtract 5. X is greater than or equal to 20. Next one. For less than. For less than a number is at most. So for less than means minus 4. This is the tricky one. So x minus 4 is at most. Which one is at most? Again, the less than or equal to 10. I could add 4, and x would less than or equal to 14. Okay. Now we're going to do multiplication or division, and this is where things change up a bit. And this is only works for this. So multiplying or dividing only. Only. If my coefficient is negative, flip the inequality sign. Okay. So if you multiply by a negative, that's what they're saying, number, you have to reverse the inequality sign. I know I just said that, but I need you, that's so huge. So what am I talking about? A negative coefficient. So examples would be negative 4x. Okay, that's your coefficient. It's negative. Or negative 1/2 y. Or, let's see, x divided by a negative 3. So all of those are examples of what those kind of coefficients are. So then you would reverse that inequality sign. So do I have here, not here, but here, a coefficient is with the variable. So here, do I have a negative? No. So we're just going to solve this as normal. This is multiplication, so I'm going to divide both sides by 4. And then x is greater than a negative 9. Done. Super sweet. Do I have a negative coefficient with my x? Yes. So same thing here, but I'm going to reverse my signage. So I'm going to divide by a negative 5, negative 5. So x is greater than 5. I'll move that down. I had to reverse it. Here, my variables over here, is this negative? Yes, I'm going to reverse my inequality sign. So divide by a negative 3, divide by a negative 3. That gives me a negative 8, and I'm reversing that inequality sign, and there's my x. Here's some more. Here's my x. Here's my 5. This is dividing. Do I see a negative here? No. So I'm going to multiply by 5 to both sides. X is less than negative 50. This one, do I have a negative on my x? Yes, that means I'm going to flip this sign. So I'm going to multiply both sides by a negative 4. Take your negative with you. So x is less than or equal to a positive 8. How do we get rid of a fraction? We multiply by its reciprocal. Is it negative? Yes. Do we need to switch him? Yes. So I'm going to multiply both sides by a negative 5 over 3, by a negative 5 over 3. Use your calculators. In x, I'm going to reverse the sign, and I punch that into my calculator, and I get a negative 10. Questions so far? Okay, so really these are just one-step equations. Those should be pretty easy. The next thing we have is these word problems, and really I just want you to write them. So negative 3 times a number, so that's your variable, is no more than 10. So negative 3 times a number is no more than. So which one is no more than? Right here is less than or equal to. And we're just going to write these. We're not going to solve them. Okay. Would you reverse your inequality sign? Yes. Reverse. Because of this negative 3. Next to the variable. This next one, 3/5 of a number is fewer than 9. So 3/5 of x. Which one is fewer? That's just less than 9. Do I need to reverse my inequality sign? No. Okay, try this one. 40 times a number is at least 80. So 40 times a number, at least. Which one is that one? Greater than or equal to 80. And our last one, negative 1/9 of a number, of meaning multiplication, is no less than is greater than or equal to 7. Do I reverse this inequality sign? Yes, reverse. How about this one? No, because this one is positive. All right, so that's it for today. I think it'll go pretty quickly, but you're going to need a piece of scratch paper. And again, if you have any questions, you email me. Thank you.